In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at using drum samples to program bass lines. And the loop that I've set up here is along the kind of tech house, techno style, call it what you will. But of course, this technique can be used for other genres. So this is a very simple loop that I've programmed to kick things off. And I always find it helpful to program the bass with more than just the kick, to have some of these drum elements in place to start with, just to get an overall feel for the groove and how the bass line is working. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a MIDI track, and we'll draw a clip in here. And then I'm going to drag Sample Auditioner across that we made in a previous video. And we're going to start off by using, let's go in here into the samples, an 808 kick drum, which is very good for this kind of low subby sound. So if I just draw a note in here, go for C3, we keep it its original pitch and use the transpose controls on the simpler to change the pitch if we need to. So I'm going to go a little bit lower with that. Now the first thing to do here is just remove some of the click from this sample. So I'm going to just take the start time forward a little bit and then use the envelope, the attack envelope, and just push that until we've still got some of the punch of the sound coming through, but it's just lost that clicky element at the beginning. So something like that's working well. Just going to check the volume. So it's very, very similar, I think. Let's double click. Yeah, very similar to the kick, so that's great. And then the last thing to do is just grab an EQ. We use a mono EQ on the bass here. And I particularly like the new Pro Q by FabFilter. It's a very, very clean EQ that you can use for a lot of tasks, but in this case it's got a really sharp 48 dB cut here, which just if we just roll that up to somewhere around the 20-25 hertz mark, and it'll just cut this bass energy out that we can't hear anyway. And later on that will allow you to just turn the mix up a tiny bit more. As it's obviously not it's not eating up any headroom. So let's use a different sample now to program the other bit of this bass line. So again, I'm using Control Shift and M to create a MIDI clip, and this time I'll just draw another couple of notes in. Let's just keep this very simple. Sample Auditioner. And this time I'm going to use a tom. You can use lots of different drum samples for this, but the kind of low percussive, almost hollower sounding instruments, the tom, congas, bongos, kick drums, those kind of samples make for very good bass lines. But of course you can try this with anything. So let's have a listen to this. This needs turning up a touch. Going to move these around, give this a little bit more variety. Okay, so that'll do nicely. And again, you can hear it's got this click at the beginning. I don't want that click coming through. So it's still got some nice bite at the beginning, but most of that click's been taken out. I'm just going to nudge this up again a little bit. And then again, we'll use an EQ to roll some of these frequencies off. In this case, I think we can easily take this up to around 60 Hertz without affecting the sound at all. Just going to back off a touch actually. And the last thing, just to add a little bit more groove to this, it feels just a bit too rigid. I'm going to move this note here. Now you may find that when you roll off the start of your samples, you might want to bring the notes forward a little bit or make some adjustments to them. In this case, I'm actually going to just pull this one backwards a little bit to add a bit more swing to this. So what I'm going to do is just use the Alt key and the arrow keys, and that's going to allow me to move this note around independently of the grid. And of course you can play with velocities and things like that. So that was just a quick video to show you how you can use drum samples to create bass lines. As always, any comments are welcome. They're always gratefully received.